to use this statue. Well, statue? Whatever. A thingy. It's definitely a thingy. There we go. By the seven be bound.
Welcome, Master Florentine. I trust you are.
The voice is some sort of security.
Okay, well, we lost a bit of health there, but... Okay, we can just use this one for this guy. Infinite blunderbuss! That's quite strong as well. Okay, what's this?
Parchment, written by hand.
Stone tower. Puzzle. Incarceration. What's all this about?
Tower with not a capital T. In most but not all accounts of this personality, Raziel appears to be a tall man wearing a black raiment. His movements accompanied by the sounds of chains and keys banging together. This forms one most associated with the services and state affairs. He mostly appears in monstrous human form, limbs stretched out of proportion and skeletal-like bat wings. That's what they're protruding from his temples. Okay, so they said that, and clearly we haven't actually read this yet. His teeth are of gold and his eyes the silver of monstrous keychains, and that swings at his side. Raziel's imminent appearance is always heralded by loud sound of a key being twisted in a lock, and his departure ends with the deafening clash of a door closing. Somebody definitely wrote this before making this game. Authors unknown, unsourced documents rescued from Iranian merchant ship Condor, C-14. In my dream, I came at once upon a tall stone tower within a puzzle where these dwelt the one who reigns over incarceration. His name was Raziel, and he was said unto me that I walked the garden. Key is thine, if thou can solve but my riddle. Ooh. Yeah, that's a weird... that's very corporate. The key is thine, if they can but solve my riddle and pass by my ear. I answered not, and went from that green place, and did speak with one by a sparkling fountain, who called himself the tender of that place. How pleasant this place to eye and ear. How pleasant this place to eye and ear. I called to him across the stream. He answered, but not for those who come with evil heart. With a call like a bird, did the gardener change his form to that of a monstrous beast, and I fled from the light that powered from its jaw. Raziel, the jailer, fear him and his powers of internment. Ooh. I did not know. Is he fired? Because he's going straight to AEW if he is. Actually, I don't know if of course AEW's already got his brother, right? For his powers to be set all free. So, yeah, and he's friends with Daniel Bryan. So one of my favourite moments in WWE, when Daniel Bryan was like had his he was what was it? He couldn't wrestle ever again, right? Because of problems he had. And they couldn't fire him because he just wrestled somewhere else. So they had this weird, they had Talking Smack. And he just didn't give a fuck. It was a really fun show where he didn't give a fuck. And he would skirt the rules as much as possible. And what was really adorable is that Dolph Ziggler was sort of encourageable. When he was on that show, he took a bit more risks. There's a bit where he had to walk onto the show and he turned his drink deliberately so you could see the logo, and he said, like, out loud, corporate mandate, like stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, he's just so encourageable, that guy. But Nick Nemeth. So yeah, look forward to seeing Nick Nemeth in AEW. I would treat him like a big deal. Because I watch a lot of I'm a really big fan of the GM mode in the wrestling games, and bloody not shut down and sit up. Left right is Xavier Woods, and I've forgotten his name. Not Dalton Castle. The model guy, the main male model guy. They spoke about like Dolph Ziggler giving advice, and one of like Dolph Ziggler being like if you know you're never going to be the man, but you can be like. He was just talking about being enhancement talent, which is what Dolph Ziggler's job has always been, right? He especially like when anyone ever comes from development, they always fight Dolph Ziggler first, which is a poor way to do that, because if you recognise that pattern, in the same way Kane, like whenever he became champion, you had to fight Kane, and Kane just never fucking won any matches. But the point I'm making is you should treat like Dolph like a big deal. He's been world champion at least once, right? But I appreciate that AEW can be wary of just constantly taking WWF stars, but like, yeah, his brother's there. I feel like it's a pretty obvious get. He's probably really good to teach her as well. Like, he's very solid in the ring. But he needs this. He needed to leave WWE years ago. Like, he was doing nothing for him. He can learn from other places. He can teach. And him trying to be Shawn Michaels has never done him any favours. Let's see how the jailer fear him and his powers. Yes, you can put them together, but like, I don't know if that's going to do him and Dolph Ziggler any good, though. He's been there for like years, because I know he was a cheerleader when he first joined WWE. Okay, seek him only at the last, for the tower in which he abides lies a center to a vast puzzle which few men have solved. Audience is never granted, but his image can sometimes be perceived as the traveller's walketh the endless gardens of his domain, endlessly striving to unlock the keys to his puzzle. His domain is a place of beauty, but do not be fooled, for it is a dwelling place of those who have failed the puzzle and must dwell eternally within the dark prison set below. Those who have had heart and their need of great enough will solve the puzzle and find themselves within the tower at last, where a key can be found that the locks of all worlds have no match for. The key is the key of tears, but tread close and stealthily, for its presence is known to the jailer. Doth hear thine footsteps, then all is lost, and the trap will be sprung. Stealth is the key. All who tread this place, take note that they remember my words, for they are true. So yeah, don't fuck up in... What's this place? Up at the tower. Complete. There we go. There's Helid, Raquia, Aquia, and Sheol. And, he signed it and everything. Here's the map of Helid, or Europe specifically. that's where we are right now in the game. That's where I am as well. Another parchment?
Parchment. Handwritten.
What's it?
Parchment on historical and legendary Cornwall.
Might be something useful in that.
That's not how you pronounce Cornwall. Cornish don't over-enunciate anything. We're in Vidroof. I work at Truro. We don't like syllables down here. It's all, everything's one syllable. It's Cornwall, not Cornwall. Legendary Cornwall documents on fact and fiction. Conflicted text copied from source. The Legend of Hellstone. I love this. But yeah, I said about this at the start. So obviously Cornwall is a Celtic land, and therefore all its stories should be like the words Redroof, Truro, Helston are all Celtic words, and not Roman words. But like Hellstone, hell is a Latin concept, and Greek, you know, because like they even said it's from Hades, not Celtic. But fool me, turns out that if you add hundreds of years, people write more stories, and this story, it wasn't invented by the game. This is a story that people actually wrote in Cornwall. According to the legend, the devil's flying over Cornwall with a huge boulder to block up the entrance to hell when St. Michael challenged him to a battle. In the battle, the devil dropped the stone, where it fell to place and became known as Hellstone. Because if you know anything about Hellstone, it's just where all the old people live. It's like really boring. They do have a parade, which if I were to ever remake this game, I'd put the furry dance in, because okay, the modern day furry dance is just like any normal parade. It's not especially spooky, but you know, still don't do that. don't put a real parade, because that's not spooky at all. Just copy the parade from the burning effigy film. I've forgotten what it's called. The giant straw man with the bees. No, the bees. The bees. Whatever that's called. Hang on. Google, what is that famous movie about Edward Woodward and a giant burning effigy?
Here's what I found.
The Wicker Man. Okay. Just copy the Wicker Man. We can pretend that Helston's spooky and not just full of old people. Folk round here. Ain't from round here, they're from Devon. In the Battle of the Devil Dropped the Stone, it's now commonly known as Helston. To celebrate the victory, the people of the town danced through the streets and it became known as the Furry Dance. That is a real thing. Okay, hang on. I want to know this. Google Wikipedia Furry Dance, Helston.
Here's what I found.
Yeah, there we go. So the furry dance is about St. Michael. The most famous furry dance takes place in Helston, Cornwall, United Kingdoms. It's one of the oldest British customs, still practiced today. The earliest mentions seem to be the letter to Gentleman's Magazine of 1790, where the writer says, at Helston, the genteel and populous borough town in Cornwall, it's customary to dedicate the 8th May to revelry, festive mirth, not loose jollity. It's called the Furry Day. The dance is very well attended every year. The dances, and people travel for all the... Okay, I don't care about that. I care about the history. In Helston, 8th of May, apparition of St. Michael, the Archangel Michael of Christianity. It's called Flora Day. That's how I know it. I didn't know it was called the Furry Dance until that. Furry derives from Cornish language. It's in Fair Feast, celebration of the passing of winter. Okay, fair enough. It's always those. The first performance, top hats, frocks. They wear lily of the valley, the symbolic flower. Yeah, so it doesn't say it. What does it say? So just an apparition of St. Michael. So this story is a later story, but it isn't from this game. Nikki the Spirit Squad, yeah. So you know what? First time I played this game, I did not know. I knew about the furry dance because later. Okay. Still takes place upon the closest Saturday to the festival of the town's patron saint, Archangel St. Michael. Land's End. Land's End is not in Helston. Legend tells... Oh, it's just different legends. Legend tells... Well, everyone knows Land's End because it's Land's End for John O'Groats. Of the entrance to Lioness was once found at Land's End. Fishermen today still say that the drowned buildings of Lioness can sometimes be seen around Seven Stones Lighthouse. So Penzance is kind of important, so that's where Land's End is. Hang on, is it? No, Land's End is Land's End. It's near Penzance, though. Penzance, you can see St. Michael's Mount. One, because I think they mentioned somewhere about pirates as well. I would have loved to have had a pirate section of this game. There is not. Short walk from the village lies the remain of Castle Damelic, where the Earl of Cornwall was killed by the hand of the king Uther Pendragon. Okay, well, everyone knows that. Uther followed that name to... What the fuck does that say? The dead Earl's wife to Tintagel. I've never been to Tintagel. And with the aid of Merlin assumed the form of Galois to seduce Geno, conceived a child who later became King Arthur. Okay, St. Michael's Mount. The Cornish name for this place is the ancient rock in the wood, because at low tide they can be seen fossilised remains of an ancient forest which once covered the coast of St. Michael's Mount. Okay, there's more. I missed all of this from the first time I played this game. Torland. The Vicar of Torland, Parson Dodge, enjoyed fame as an exorcist in the early part of the 18th century. Thurwook, pronounced Trove, was once a grand house of a powerful and influential Lovatus family. Approximately 200 years ago, the squire gave chase to a white hare which disappeared into a cave. When the squire found the hare, it had changed into a witch, and he further discovered that the cave was a coven led by a demon, where the squire recognised as the same stranger who had seduced his wife some time before. You seduced my wife! I love the idea of seducing someone's wife. I mean, I don't mean yes, I love the idea of seducing someone's wife. I mean, I don't know, it just seems like a funny thing. Because in real life, that's just a relationship forming, right? That's an affair. But no, my wife is perfectly innocent. See, she got seduced. The squire emerged from the cave some time ago. They're demented and totally insane. The squire and his hunting dogs haunt the place to this day. So these are all legends, right? Somebody's just picked up a bunch of legends in the universe, and not all of them are going to be relevant. Canid Jack. Legend would have it that many years ago, two miners were passing the Carn one late night, when they were out, overtaken by a black-robed horseman who asked them if they would watch a wrestling match. There we go, it's relevant. On the Carn, then by now horrified and terrified miners accepted, but found that they joined a party of demons, and the horseman was in fact the devil. During the match, one of the demons was thrown against the rock, and the two miners, who still showed a sense of Christian love, whispered a prayer into its ear, and as it appeared to be dying, they spoke to the prayer to the very land, rumbled and groaned as the whole demonic troop, consumed by the earth by the fearsome black cloud. That's a very strange story. I'm going to assume that all these stories are actually real stories, not from this game. That was cool. I'm going to have to look those up. Not now.
Handwritten text.
What's it say?
This reads like some religious text.
Definitely no apocrypha I've ever read.
Whilst walking Raquia, it is a place of spirit, and it is ruled over by the power of the jailer. In my dream, I came upon a tall stone tower where dwelt a power who reigns over incarceration. He is the aforementioned, and he said unto me, I walk the gardens, the key of tears is thine, and if thou can but solve my puzzle, and these are past my ears, and I answered not, and went from that green place, and did speak with one stood by a fountain. How pleasant this place is to hang on, did we not read this already? Why is it still on the table? Called him across the stream, and he answered, but not for those who come to deceive. No, it's similar, but not exactly the same. Pleasant this place to eye and ear. With a call like a bird, did the soul change to form that of a monstrous beast, and I fled from the light that poured from it. I walked the place of Acquia and was told by the first soul not to write of this place, and I was told if I was to receive what was rightfully mine. I left the place and awake with the mark of his word upon my arm to remind me of the past. Those through smoke and fire, hail and ice, I came upon that place of ice and fire known to man as hell, that terrible hall of eternal woe, that is Sheol, where the seasons differ greatly from his own, being longer and with harvests and souring at wider intervals. The people who live by the shores of Sheol are able to cross the whirlwind spaces to visit all the places of the universe and can speak all other languages, although unknown. Okay, so we are going to go Sheol in this game, and it's going to be incredibly disappointing. It's not one of those. Just...
Quill and ink.
Expensive too. Golden nib.
So yeah, spoiler warning. Cool. We grabbed some stuff from this room. Where are we going? What did we actually get from this room? Oh. I had a gun on. I forgot about the gun.
Nothing yet. Nothing at all.
I'm trying to figure out what we actually... We know we need to go to the tower. We clearly need to go to Raquia. I'm just trying to figure out what we got from this room that helps with that endeavour. What did we pick up? We got a lot of maps and stuff. I tell you what, maybe that. It was a big area. Maybe we can just go somewhere else, you know? Where's the masks? Ooh. Die. Some bullets. Almost missed that. it's just items up there. So this...
Someone spent a lot of time on this.
The iconography has to be spot on, otherwise these things don't work.
So this is where we got the little statue thing.
This opened the door to the library. That thing in its hands must be a book, then.
Clever. A very clever piece of work. With a bloody great demon wearing it round its neck for added security.
Okay, let's go back to the library. Because it's the only thing I can think of. No, it won't work because it'll whisper to us. Oh, there we go. We found it. Just want to know what's over here, though.
Open. Good.
Because this all appears to be new. Oh, hang on. We've, yeah, I know where we are. We've opened up a shortcut.
Doesn't appear to be working.
Oh, I don't like your change of music. Well, let's follow the dead rats. Ooh, look at this. Oh, not yet. Let's go in this side room first. The closet room. Okay. I wonder why this exists. That drummer's going crazy.
Coat stand.
No coats. Right, through the fancy door. Let's save our game, because we did just figure out what to do. 33 games. Ooh. Oh, I didn't bring my cup of tea. It's my cup of tea's right over there.
By the seven we bound, by the seven to come, power of one. Thy will be done.
Curious. There we go. Chapter 10, The Key of Tears. Did we just save? I tell you what, I think this is a good place to leave it. Because we saved right before that, didn't we? Yeah. There's this mule. Is that praising?
Now that's impressive. You think someone prays here?
More than likely, yes.
Then let's start right now. How about praying for some miracle to save us?
Okay. Ugh! Right. Thank you very much for watching. I've been the Johnstruct. I've been having a Realms of the Haunting adventure. And hopefully I should be playing this tomorrow. Farewell. I'll see you next time.